Okay, I've mentioned flashlights in my videos many times, and I just thought it'll be a really good idea to really go over the details of what I look for in a good emergency light. Okay, when you go to the store and you look for a light, really? Excuse me. Hello? You know what? How dare you interrupt me while I'm watching Lily Carter and Stoya? Anyway, when you're looking for lights, first you want an LED light. Well, I look for LED light because I'm looking for something that'll last longer. LED lights are more efficient. They'll last a lot longer. So that means it gives you more battery life. And as a result, when you look at the symbols for the amount of time it lasts, and by the way, this is a symbol you'll see on pretty much all the really good packages. This means how long is it going to last? 160 hours? Well, 30, whatever. Some of those lights, they're not LED, and they only last like a half an hour or an hour. That's no good in an emergency situation. You're going to need it for a lot longer than that. Generally, you want to stick with the same type of batteries, but I sort of broke my own rule by, recently I bought some AA batteries, but most of my stuff pretty much runs on AAA. I use things like a headlamp and stuff. Most of my batteries runs on AAA, but I decided to get a AA simply because, well, here's something I carry with me all the time. One AAA battery goes into this small light, and a bigger one right here accepts two AA batteries right here. AAA and AA will be the most common, easiest to find. However, I wanted something a lot bigger, so I decided to go with something like this. And I'll tell you a little bit in a second. You want lumens. The more, the better, okay? Generally speaking. Something about this size, excuse me, will only be like 4 or 5, you know. This might be 7 or 10, maybe, okay? If you want a lot of smaller lights, because it's more cost effective, and I think you should also look for one really big one. A fair size one, so if you go into the garage, it should be able to light up everything. Somebody brought up a really good point that I might want to use the candles as a last resort. The candles and the oil lamp. A friend of mine on YouTube, South Florida Prepper, said that he doesn't want to open flame in his house, and that's a really good point. Something to think about. And you guys know I have about 3 of those things, so I'll use them very. I'll try to avoid using them. However, they will be important once I run out of batteries. So, And another thing, once I run out of batteries, I have a crank one. Hand crank. Has a battery in there, and you just regenerate it by cranking it. Really cool concept. Anyway, yeah, the time symbol, how long is it going to last? This one right here is going to last 160 hours, supposedly. It accepts D batteries. Speaking of which, they actually came with 2 of these type of batteries. These are pretty reliable batteries right here. And a lot of times they give you crappy batteries, so I brought an extra pack anyway, but the ones in there should be pretty good. It should be pretty much those type. And just because they have the same name as Railvac doesn't mean that it's going to be the same type of battery. It's probably a crappier version than the one you're used to. Anyway, this symbol right here means lumens. How bright it's going to be, I'll look for something 20 or more if you want a bigger light like this one. Smaller lights, it can be 10, but yeah, I mean, if you find something like 50, that'll be really cool. Actually, I ran into a light that was like that, so I'm gonna pick it up. I like to have options. A lot of people, they talk about this $150 flashlight. I'm not gonna waste $150 on one flashlight. Yeah, it may be a great flashlight, it may be weatherproof and all that stuff, but if something happens, there's an emergency, and you drop it or you lose it, you just blew $150. Whereas, I would rather have, more of these and these with that same amount of money. One may break, but I'll still have some other ones, and I have more options. If something happens, I have to toss it. I toss it. It's not a big deal. But if you have a whole lot of money, then of course you can afford a whole lot of $150 type of flashlights. You don't want something that's too cheap that's going to fall apart on you. So that's something to keep in mind. I still need to get one more light that's pretty much waterproof. I'm going to have to pay a little bit more for that. Probably about $50 or so. Something smaller, something that I carry with me. And as some of you guys know, I carry these 2 with me everywhere I go. I also carry a lighter, even though I don't smoke. But anyway, something to think about. Okay, the range. This symbol right here, like a car light, means a range. If it's 25 meters, it's about 24 yards. Meters, about the same as yards, a little bit smaller. But you have a general idea what it is. This one I think was 56 meters. Something I look for. You know, very, very important. What else other than LED? This check mark symbol, it sort of symbols the drop is rated for. Like if I drop this at 1 meter right here, should be all right. I think this was rated for 2, although I wouldn't try throwing it around just to find out. But you know, anyway, those are the type of things I look for in lights, and I like to have more than I think I really need. You know, look at the lights sort of like ammunition. Don't try to get some exotic light that takes an exotic battery that you don't commonly find in the stores. Stick with the basic stuff that you actually know. AAA, AA, you know, to a lesser extent, D batteries. But, you know, I can still find D batteries in stores. I was in a dollar store and I found something really, really interesting. A digital thermometer for $1. You know, so I'm gonna try these out and get more than one, and you know it'll be really good if you have a medical situation and you know what, it's a fan environment to actually be able to take someone's temperature to see if somebody's burning up, see if their temperature is rising too much. You know, it's something that's really, really important, really, really cool. So. Guys, these are some of the things I'm working on. If you have any suggestions on some really good cost-effective lights, because I'm not looking to break the bank, okay? Or you have some critique about my ideas about a good flashlight, please share them. This is a learning channel. Alright guys, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Don't forget, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Bye.